Religion, a business, or a personal brand, the top of these top, right, of these things I just mentioned, they all have one thing in common. They have a cult-like mentality. Whether it's the personal brands, Andrew Tate, Hamza, Imagadi, whether it's businesses, Apple, Google, um, Facebook, right? Although those other ones, some of them are kind of like dying down, right? Movements have a cult. Whether it's the woke movement, the feminist movement, right? The Black Lives Matter, is because a cult-like following is very, very powerful and it is very, very motivating. In this video, I'm going to tell you how you can even potentially build your own cult-like following. Because yes, there are benefits for having a cult-like following. Yes, exactly. So this is coming from chapter 29 of this book, The Diary of a CEO, where it says, create a cult mentality. So if you like the ideas in this video, first of all, share it to somebody. Because if you stay to the very end, it shows that you're somebody who takes himself very, very serious. So also share this video with somebody who takes himself very, very serious. Grab a copy of this book because this book is it's packed with quite a good amount of knowledge, ideas and knowledge. And plus, if you can't get this book, listen to the podcast, The Diary of a CEO. It's going to impact your life like good. Stephen Bartlett has good guys that he brings on the show. So let's get right into it. So think about it. The guy called Jim Jones had a cult-like following. He basically made them kill themselves it's called drinking the Kool-Aid. And the whole idea was that when you bring a couple of people together and you make them believe this vision, right, using a couple of key tactics and having some ingredients together, you can build that cult-like following where people are the ones who will push your cause. Have you ever realized, right? So marketing is basically free, but yet the customers will do everything on this world to push that brand. They are the ones who will go out there to market it. And if you're probably saying this and people may say, oh, why are they doing it, right? It's because sometimes there's some key things, some ingredients that these guys have that others don't even have. And it's the same reason that Simon Sinek wrote this book, Start with Why, right? Because when you start with why, when you have a very strong why, right, you get to realize that other people have that why. And what is most important, which is a part of the ingredients, is the fact that most people may have a why. Most people are looking for a why. So if your why resonates with them, they're going to take it as their personal goal to make sure that you and your why becomes a reality. So we see this idea of building a cult in almost everything. It's the reason we have, and trust me, cults have this idea of us versus them. So there are a lot of components that create a cult. So a few components are this. So there are about 4 of them. One is a sense of belonging. See, to be very frank, right? A lot of people are alone. A lot of people are scared. A lot of people they feel abandoned. They feel like they don't have any purpose in this life. But you see, a cult, right, brings these guys together and makes us realize that, okay, hold on. You are not alone. You are with us. We are one family. Think about it. We are one family. That's the foundation of a cult first. That is why whether it's a personal brand, a business, try to have a vision first and say, this is who we are. This is what we're trying to achieve. That's why I tell people that I'm simply just here trying to make men great again, trying to make men to become men again. Not men who have been beaten by modern society, but men who are really, really tough. And these followers, these new people, these people who are lost, they're looking for, like I said, something that they feel can push them forward. Because most people are living through life. They're going through life without any direction. So they feel like if they can see a direction, a purpose that brings other people together and makes them feel fulfilled, they'll jump on it. So first, what you need is a sense of community and belonging. The second thing is a shared mission. Because when we bring people together, what is next? They need to go out there and achieve something, right? That is the entire point. Because bringing people together with no aim is basically impossible. It's basically like a waste of time. But when you bring them together and say, this is our vision. What's our vision? The vision of what? Maybe the woke movement. Although I don't buy that movement, though I still benefit in it. But the idea of maybe the feminism movement was let's make women have equal rights, right? Have equal opportunity, which is not bad, which is a very, very nice thing for women to have equal opportunity. Has it gone too far? Kind of, because equal outcome from equal opportunity is not possible, except there's violence involved. Let me see what else. Different companies basically, but if a shared mission is what the community is driving towards, is just as important. The third part is an inspiring leader. Somebody who understands, the person who is so charismatic, because either is inspiring or charismatic. Basically, he's the leader that everybody looks up to. He basically feels like a god. He feels like he knows it all. Feels like very smart. He feels like he has figured everything out. So the people are willing to follow this person to the greatest part of this earth, to make sure that this person brings that mission and vision to life. One thing that is very, very powerful is called the us versus them mentality. That is one reason Ronaldo and Messi, right? Even though they may not have, even though that's the reason they have held that spot for a very, very long time. I ever doubt there's ever going to be Ronaldo and Messi anymore because they play the card right. There's a reason DC and Marvel Comics are just the same thing because of their fanatics. They have this idea of us versus them. Why? Because again, the mind, right? The people will find it easier when they have an enemy. Like it's better for them to create a community, right, with people who have shared enemies. And also, the moment you pick a stance, you already have an enemy, right? And if you have no enemies, guess where you are? You're in the land of you're in no man's land. And guess what happens in no man's land? Everybody is your enemy, or everybody may not be your enemy, but you're an enemy to everybody. Think about it. When you take a stance, whether you're woke or anti-woke, there's always the stance. So when you bring people together, they have a common vision. They have an inspiring leader. That inspiring leader needs to point out who the enemy is. Because like I said, people are much more drawn when they know their enemies. They are much more drawn to destroy their enemies. That is one reason that if you to destroy people, destroy their enemies and make them believe that they have zero enemies is one of the fastest way to literally destroy a group of people. Make them believe that they have no enemies whatsoever. Now, Stephen Bartlett also gives about 4 stages to building a company, basically. And he says a company, right, at the beginning should act like a cult. So he's giving you 4 stages. The first stage is the cult of 0 to 1 phase. This is where everybody is delusional. This is where everybody is going all in to achieve this goal, this vision, this dream. This is the point where people are marching on the streets. This is the point where people are even tattooing the name of the brand on their body. People say this like, oh, isn't it stupid to do that? Well, you never can tell how strong that cult is. You need that very strong movement initially. It's the same reason that a lot of brands, whether it's a bike brand, you have bikers who tattoo the name of their bikes on their body. Think about it. What makes them do that? Because they want to identify with that brand. There are people who basically they create merches on behalf of their, should I say, their favorite influencer. I literally have seen people wear a shirt of Andrew Tate, right? So think about it. I've seen people who have the pouch of Andrew Tate, whose screensaver is Andrew Tate. I'm not here to discard anybody, but the entire point is that if you're thinking of going that far, you have to understand that the first phase is the cult-like phase where everybody is delusional, and you have to meet you need to prepare those things in place, those 4 components of a cult. The community, a sense of belonging, the us versus them mentality, the leader, and the mission. Those 4 things have to come together at this phase. 2 is the growth phase where everybody is seeing growth. Things are working well. The movement is quote unquote is moving. People are adopting solutions. People are adopting the ideas. In case of feminist movement, people are beginning to wake up and become feminists. Although sometimes I feel like a lot of that particular movement was really done majorly by men who try to control women more than women try to liberate other women. But basically, the ship is sailing. Everything is going fine. The 3rd phase is the enterprise phase where everything is stable, things are moving well, things are going fine, everything is perfect, everybody is comfortable basically. The 4th phase, right, is called the decline, where everybody is comfortable. The thing that brought them together, right, is already dead, right? It's already has been achieved already. This is why things like the us versus them mentality, like I said, if you destroy their enemies, there's a high chance that they're going to destroy the community. That is why if you look at Hamza's cult, Hamza, if you're probably been on YouTube for a while, there's a guy called Hamza Ahmed. Hamza's cult is actually a very interesting cult. What do they really, really, really do? He has this idea of Jeffrey versus Adonis. Jeffrey is the modern, weak, feminine man. Adonis is this masculine man that everybody wants to be like, everybody aims to be. The moment you kill the idea of Adonis, or the moment you kill the idea of a Jeffrey, because he's trying to push his community to all become like Adonis. The moment you kill the idea of a Jeffrey. But automatically, you're slowly beginning to kill the community, because the community needs enemies to bring them together. Think about it. In the past, right, human beings came together, right? The only reason human beings came together is to prolong our survival. Because if we were there alone, we could die. But when we come together and we believe, literally, we believe that there's something out there willing to get us, we'll try our possible best to cooperate together to make sure we eliminate that threat. But guess what? The threat has never ever gone out. Even if the threat has gone out before, back in the days, the threat used to be saber-toothed tigers. Now the threats are political, funny, woke ideas that we need to be very careful about at the point of making this video. Now he gives about 10 steps for you to create a company culture, because it is cult then culture, cult then URE then culture. You basically get the point. So he gives about 10 steps, and I feel like that is where I should leave you for this book, because me giving you those ideas, which are very important, may never ever make you get this book, which I feel you should get the book. And hey, by the way, I think that's a lot. So I'll just leave you like a couple of things from my notes that I feel I want to get word for word. Cult-like mentality can get you to start, but it is not sustainable in the long term, because the idea of a cult is to get you off the ground, is to get the movement moving, right? Summary: a cult-like commitment from staff can be very, very useful in the beginning stage of a company or an idea or a movement. It can determine the culture, generates the passion required, because like I said, that sense of belonging will drive the community members to do things, be as much to stretch their capacity just to bring their movement to life. It needs to develop in order for it to achieve a long-term objective as the company or as the movement grows. Cults in the long run are not sustainable, because why? At some point they begin to die out, right? The idea of a cult is to serve a purpose, and after that purpose has been served, you need to figure out a new way to proceed. That is the reason Apple barely throws jabs at Microsoft anymore, but they throw them time to time though, because like to be very, very frank, like I said, the moment you kill an enemy, or all the enemies, the people begin to disintegrate, they begin to scatter. So yes, it may not be sustainable because of people are enraged, but at some point you need a new enemy if you want to sustain it. That is the reason feminism was a very good idea, but for some strange reasons, people hijacked that movement. They made it more extreme, and in that process, they are really causing more damage that we can really, really consider. If the culture is strong, new people will become the culture. If the culture is weak, the culture will become the people. And that is how a lot of movements die. The culture becomes weak. Everybody becomes complacent. The mission is already accomplished. There's no more enemy to fight. The leader has lost it. That is how movements die. So if you made it this far, it means that you are somebody who takes his life very, very serious. And it is an action like that that proves that there are people out there who take themselves serious. So kindly share this video with somebody who you know takes his life very serious. And so we can bring like-minded people together. Can we start a cult? Yes, we can. Right? We need to bring men. We need to realize that everything is fucked. And the world relies on men that really understand that the world is fucked. And we basically need men to become more responsible. We need men to become strong again. Now, let's come together. Let's have like-minded people together. Let's see how we can basically make men good again. How we can make men great again. So go ahead, share this video with other people. You never can tell who this video become helpful for. And I'm going to create more videos like this regarding how men can become stronger. Basically, how we can basically remove this idea of these woke ideas that have made men weak, that have made men feminine. In the process, let's have a select few men who are willing to win. Because take it or leave it, I don't see the feminine man winning over a masculine man. I don't see how that works, right? Except it's in a corrupt system. So let's come together. Let's make magic happen. If you like the ideas in this book, go ahead and grab a copy or listen to the podcast itself. So thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Oh, those 10 steps to creating a culture. Please go ahead and check this book. You'll see it. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. And bye for now.